guys, in this video we are going to look into monopolistic competition. In last video we have seen different market competitive structure like perfect competition and monopoly. Monopoly is one extreme of market competitive structure, whereas perfect competition is another extreme. But monopolistic competition comes in between these two extremes, and it has characteristic of both perfect competition as well as monopoly competitive market structure. Let's see the feature of monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is a type of imperfect competition as opposite to what we have in perfect competition, where we have many sellers and many buyers, and sellers sell products that are not homogeneous but are differentiated from one another either by branding or quality. Hence, they are not perfect substitute to each other, but they can still be substituted. So one of the feature of monopolistic competition is product differentiation. So as you know, monopoly has totally different product, while in perfect competition you have homogeneous product. Monopolistic competition is in between that. It has similar product, but they are not perfect substitute, and they are differentiated by different, either by branding or by quality or by different marketing strategies. The another is, in perfect competition you find a industry, so you define an industry which produce a homogeneous product. But since in monopolistic competition those cannot be called industry because they are a similar product but they are differentiated. So you have different type of detergent or soap, so that's the reason they are not cannot be called as industry, but they are termed as product group which has similar characteristic but they are differentiated. In monopolistic market competition, you have free entry and exit. So firm can freely enter or exit like perfect competition. Another feature of monopolistic competition is there are number of buyers and sellers as opposite to monopoly competition. There are non-price competition. When we see non-price competition, it is opposite to price competition, where you decrease or increase price to control the demand in market. But here you take another route like advertisement to control the market demand. And then we have independent behavior of seller or producer, where they increase or decrease the price based on their slightly differentiated product, thinking others in market will not follow suit. Let's look in brief of all these three market competition. What is the comparison? So perfect competition, number of firm will be infinite, which we know. In monopolistic competition, there are many firms. Like perfect competition and monopoly, we only have one or two, very few firms. So in terms of market power, perfect competition firm doesn't have any market power. They are the taker. Monopolistic competition, there are low competition, so there are competition like perfect competition, so not exactly but slightly less than. So they have market power but low market power. In monopoly, firms have high market power. Elasticity of demand, if you look into perfect competition, is perfectly elastic. Monopolistic competition is highly elastic, but monopoly is inelastic. Product differentiation, you don't have any product differentiation in perfect competition. We have high differentiation of product differentiation in monopolistic competition, but in monopoly products are completely different. So for example, like electricity, if somebody distributor is distributing electricity to a region, there are no other distributor for that, so it is highly separate product. Excess profit, perfect competition, in short run you have profit, but in long run you don't have profit. Similar in monopolistic competition, in short run profit is there, but in long run it is not there because more firm will enter into the market if there are profit, and it will come to a point where they stop making profit and they will just recover the cost. Monopoly market, you have profit, excess profit in short as well as long run. In terms of efficiency, perfect competition is very efficient because you are utilizing complete the consumer surplus. but monopolistic competition as well monopoly market are not efficient. Profit maximization condition for perfect competition happens where your price is equal to MR is equal to MC. While in monopolistic competition, we have marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. Similarly, in monopoly, we will see later on that in graph that how it works out. Pricing power, perfect competition firm is price taker, while monopolistic and monopoly both are price setter. So only difference in monopolistic and monopoly in price setting terms, in monopolistic competition firm thinks that they are setting up the price, but in reality it might be a little bit different where market is actually deciding that. So now let's look into the short run equilibrium for monopolistic market. In short run, the diagram for monopolistic competition is same as monopoly. So as we know, our profit maximization condition is also same where your marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So firm maximizes profit where MR is equal to MC. So if you look into the diagram, if you look into the graph, there are two type of demand curves. So one demand curve with DP, you can see this demand curve pertain to proportional demand or actual demand of market. Another demand curve is DF, which is perceived demand of firm. So what do you mean by perceived demand and what do we mean by actual demand? So perceived demand is nothing but what firm perceive is demand curve. So that means when firm set up its price or define any strategy, it thinks that other will not follow it and then accordingly it derives its own demand curve. So perceived demand curve, and then we have market demand, actual demand curve. So regardless of what firm perceives it, if they change any prices, market, another player in market will follow the suit and market demand curve then got steeper than perceived demand curve. So what does mean by market demand curve is steeper than perceived demand curve? Because market demand curve is less elastic. So if you see in perceived demand curve, for any change in price, there will be more change in quantity. While as any change in price, there will be less impact on quantity. So consider if you are changing price from P to P1 and the quantity here is Q1. So there will be less change in quantity, while is in this curve you will see on perceived demand curve quantity is changing more. So that's the reason the firm who perceives if they change the price, they have their own demand curve and they think that demand will increase more in response to the price change. While as when other player also follow the suit, market demand curve becomes steeper and demand will not change as per the expectation of firm. Hence, there is a difference between perceived demand curve and market demand curve. So now our MR will be based on perceived demand curve, marginal revenue, how firm is perceiving its demand curve would be. So where MR is actually MC, which is your short term marginal cost, that is a point where the equilibrium will lie. So in this point equilibrium lies, then at this point your when you touch the demand curve of market, that is the real demand curve. So this is the point it will touch at equilibrium. So that is the your Q, which is your equilibrium demand. And as opposite to this equilibrium demand, you have equilibrium price because this is the demand curve. Now in order to find cost, the same equilibrium point when we move to short term average cost, so this is the point we'll get our cost. So this is my cost. Now between price and cost, this is the area where firm will make profit in short run. Now looking into long run, in long run, supernormal profit of firm will encourage new firms to enter. So demand curve will shift to left due to new firm enter in the market. This will reduce the demand from a firm for existing firm and leads to the normal profit. So long-term normal profit, what will happen? In long term, your demand curve will keep on shifting, right? When more firm will enter, so what will happen? Your demand will keep reducing for an individual firm. Market demand, because if market demand is 100 and right now firm is 2, they will have 50-50 of demand. But if there are more firm enters, like there are 8 more firm enters, then each firm will have 10-10-10, so their demand will decrease. They will come to a point where your market demand will be tangent to average cost, and this will make the profit, the cost and P will become equal to cost. So market will just recover the cost, they will not make super normal profit in long term. Let's get a little bit more deeper into concept of proportional and perceived demand curve, which is unique to monopolistic market. So monopolistic market competition is, as we know, is it has characteristic of both perfect competition as well as monopoly. So firm does not face an horizontal demand curve like perfect competition, but they face the curve, experience the demand curve, since product by all firms are homogeneous. So product differentiation, which is there as part of monopolistic competition, is the introduced proportional and perceived demand curve for them. So for building up his model of monopolistic competition, Chamberlain considered two demand curve. One is proportional demand curve or actual sales curve, another is perceived demand curve or anticipated demand curve. Proportional demand curve is drawn by assuming all the monopolistically competitive market firms charge the same price. So that means if one firm is changing the price, other firm will respond to that change and they will also accordingly change their price. While perceived demand curve is drawn on the assumption that the competitor and seller will not change the original price. That's the reason perceived demand curve is less steeper than proportional demand curve. So perceived demand curve is more elastic. So proportional demand curve is faced by a particular firm when all firm charges the same price. And perceived demand curve is anticipated curve where the firm thinks that all other seller will maintain their original price and they will not respond to their price change, so they will have more demand in market if they change their price, more or less demand as they want to control it. Basic assumption of Chamberlain's large group model are same as that of pure competition with the exception of homogeneous product. So basically monopolistic competition has all the criteria of pure competition with the only exception of products are not homogeneous but are differentiated. Chamberlain developed three different models of equilibrium. Model 1, where existing firms in short-run equilibrium are realizing super profit and they don't have incentive to change their prices. Model 2, where he assumed that member of firms in industry are optimal and long-run equilibrium is achieved by price adjustment. In model 3 is a combination of first two where long-run equilibrium is achieved by price adjustment and by entry of existing firm and new entry. In short run, a firm realized maximizing its profit because short run there are no entry of barrier. So in short run, firm will make profit because of price is more than cost. But since firm is making profit, new firm will enter into the market and consequently the profit earned will be normal because demand will keep on reducing for an individual firm, and then there and time will come where your demand curve will become tangent to your cost curve, and profit will become equal to price will become equal to cost, and then firm will stop making supernormal profit. So this is the stage where firm become in long run they become equal to perfect competition. In model 2, it is assumed that number of firm is such that there is no supernormal profit. Therefore, there is no entry and exit. So same number of firm will remain in this model as they have stopped making supernormal profit. In model 3, there is a price equilibrium is achieved by price adjustment, which is model 2, and as well as new entry in model 1. So difference in model 2 and model 3, you can see market demand curve remains same, which is DD plus. Market demand curve, when we talk about this, is proportional demand curve or real demand curve. And in this, what you can see D1, D2, D3 in model 3, it changes because in model 2 there is no entry or exit of move firm, but in model 3 it has price adjustment as well as entry of new firm. So when new firm enters, you will have demand curve change because so as new firm will enter, your demand will be for individual firm demand will decrease. Now, this is the demand curve for your individual firm, which is proportional demand curve. So one firm, if it is selling 100 quantity, consider firm 1 is selling 100 quantity in model 2, and there is no entry and exit of other firm, so it will keep remaining. So your proportional demand curve will keep will be same, will not change. But now firm wants to make more profit, or if they want to do they will do price adjustment, so they will decrease the price. Consider from P1 to P2 they are decreasing the price, so they will decrease the price and then they will assume, so after decrease of the price they should uh, demand should increase to x0, but that doesn't happen because perceived demand price it doesn't when it comes to D1 to D2. So perceived demand curve, the demand will be based on the proportional. So other firm is also reducing the price. If price is reduced by one firm, other firm is also reducing. So quantity just change marginally from here to here. It doesn't change to x0. And similarly in model 3, it is a combination of model 2 and 1 where you price adjustment happens. In model 1, you have entry of new firm. So entry of new firm changes your demand structure, and then firm do the price adjustment to get the equilibrium. So equilibrium, you just get the point E. So Chamberlain introduced a new concept which is selling cost. So till now there was production cost to produce the goods. Now selling cost is something to cost to sell the goods, which includes one of the example is advertisement. So selling activity which has certain cost associated with it helps monopolistic competition to do the price uh, to differentiate their product from their competitors. So curve of selling cost is like average curve of cost average cost curve. So both are used. So how do we achieve equilibrium with selling cost, variable cost? So selling cost is included as part of variable cost. So firm cost, at first you can see the firm cost structure was this, and the demand was this, and this was the cost. So firm was incurring this profit. Now firm increased its selling cost consider for advertisement. So as part of that, cost will increase, but since it is it is spending more on advertisement. As a result of that, its output, this demand will also increase. Now firm will start incurring this profit. If it is incurring more selling cost, demand will increase more, and then it will incur more profit. So there is an excess capacity under monopolistic competition. We will see why. The ideal output or optimal output is associated with minimum point of LR, long range average cost curve, which was achieved as part of perfect competition. When equilibrium happened in perfect competition, that happens at the minimum point of long range average cost curve. But in monopolistic competition, there is an excess capacity because firm never goes to that point in order to keep incurring the profit or in order to keep earning the profit. And because of that, there is a wasteful use of society's resources. So as you can see in average cost firm, so excess capacity is XCX1, where XM X1 is due to not building the technically optimal plant. So this is your short term average curve and this is your long term. So if in order to reduce this cost, you need to build optimum plant. So firm is not doing that. Another is XCXM. This part is due to they are not operating plant at minimum point of cost. So this is because of their operating inefficiency. So why does firm does not go to their average? What is the reason that they do not go to this average lowest point? So reason being that in order to achieve this lowest point at long run average cost, you need to produce more. If you are producing less, you will not get lowest minimum point of average cost. So if you are producing more, that means the price will automatically be reduced as part of market equilibrium. If price reduces, you will start incurring less profit, or at one point of time you will just recover the cost. That's the reason firm never reaches here and they keep at the left of minimum cost, which is the wasteful use for the society resources because firm wants to make the profit. There are few criticism of monopolistic competition. One is demand curve. It is actually, we are assuming the downward sloping demand curve are derived because of product differentiation. So this is inconsistent with assumption that cost curve or demand curve are same for all the firm. But in this case, in monopolistic competition case, we are assuming that this is different because of product differentiation, which is against the basic assumption. Then product differentiation, it is difficult to define an industry and product group because of this product differentiation. So in monopolistic competition, it is not very clear where do we draw the line. So differentiated product it is not necessary they are produced by different firm. One single firm can produce several differentiated product. which could be close substitute of each other. Then it is very difficult to predict prediction of any market structure in monopolistic competition. So unlike the theories of perfect competition and monopoly, it does not provide unambiguous prediction of effect of changes in cost and demand of price of product, size of plant and number of firm operating in the industry. So these things are unknown because there is unknown factor of selling cost or which introduce the or selling activities which introduce the differentiation in product, which makes other things unpredictable to define in the way it is defined under perfect competition and monopoly market. Now let's look into a small problem for monopolistic competition market. Consider we have 101 firm in the market and demand function is given by 150 minus quantity and plus collective effect of what other market competitors are doing. So there, and then we have given cost function, so we need to derive short run equilibrium as well as long run equilibrium for the above problem. Now price of K is equal to 150 minus xk and addition of 111 firm, which is here x1 plus x2 plus x100. The price, the effect of demand effect of this. So reaction of all these firms and cost is this. So profit will be price into quantity minus cost. So we'll just write the equation for profit. And now in order to maximize this, we need to do d pi k by dxk. So we'll differentiate this equation and make it equal to 0. So this will become 150. So after differentiating, this will lead to this. Now, in order to find this expression at equilibrium, what will be our assumption that every firm is selling similar quantity. So xi will be equal to xk. So that means if one firm is selling one, another is also sell. So all 101 firm will sell similar quantity. So if xk is being sold by all the firm, so now total number of quantity will become 100 into xk. So this will become this expression. So now we can write this as 38xk minus 1.5 xk square minus 120 minus 0.02 into 200 into xk. So after solving this equation, we'll get xk as 4 and 20. Now, if you do the second order derivation, then you will find 4. The quantity is 20, not 4. So quantity is 20 for at short run equilibrium, and this is for all 101 firm. So now if we want to find out short run price, it will be equal to, so just putting the x here, we'll find 20 minus 2 into 20 as the short run. So 90 will be short run equilibrium price and quantity will be 20 for monopolistic firm. So now in long run, more firm can enter in industry. So now this will not be fixed. So what we are writing it, when we put 100 here in the equation in order to find out equilibrium, that will not be case for the long run. So long run, it will be something like 38 xk minus 1.5 xk square minus 120, And then we don't know what would be the number of equilibrium firm which will enter into the market. So we will write it as n minus 1, 0.02 xk equal to 0. So this is our one equation for long run. Another equation for long run, we know price is equal to average cost for monopolistic firm. So we know the price. We know the price equation. Price equation is this, and we know the cost equation, and then we will price equation is 150 minus xk minus 0.02 n minus 1 xk is equal to cost equation. So we will equate these two, and then we have two different formula, and variable is x and n. So we have two different formula and two different variable x and n. So we could derive by solving it. So after solving it for, we'll get long run n equal to 161. So after the 161 firms enter into the market, firm cost will become average cost, firm price will become average cost, and its profit will be 0. That is all today we have for monopolistic competition. Thank you for watching.